So the quiz is consists of 10 questions. They cover all kinds of things about web development, a little bit of history, a bit of JavaScript, CSS, HTML. So could be anything. Well, I'm sure. I mean, don't feel bad if you can't answer some of these questions, because they're supposed to be tricky, and it's definitely I don't know, like if you guys can, if someone can answer all of them, well, we are hiring. So let's give people a minute to join. I see 5 users at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh no, sorry. I'll start. Yes, 3, 2, 1, go. The first question, some history. We ought to know our roots. In March 1989, Tim Berners-Lee submitted a proposal document to his superiors at CERN. This document described a system that would later become the World Wide Web. So what was the title of that document? And the options are Towards an Interconnected Hypertext Management System, a proposed approach to distributed information networks, Information Management, a proposal, or Web 3.0, the future of blockchain. This picture here is, by the way, the actual original schematics from that document. Okay, 10 seconds to go. Received 11 answers from 10 people. How's that possible? Not sure, but I trust in this platform. All right, and the correct answer is Information Management, a proposal, and 9% of the people answered correctly, which is quite impressive, I'd say. So we have, well, 9% is actually just one person. Good job. Let's go ahead. The second question. When was the defer attribute on script elements introduced? It was first introduced, not many people know it, but it was first introduced in Internet Explorer long time ago, long time before the standard. The question is, was it the Internet Explorer 4, 9, or 11? A little bit of history as well, but not all of the questions are history. Okay. 10 seconds left. And time's up. All right, so it was actually first introduced in Internet Explorer 4. I believe it was 98. Yeah, it says 98. Oh, sorry, I didn't pause. So next question. A little bit of HTML and DOM APIs. So we have an iframe element with whose SRC attribute is set to an empty string. And the question is, how does it look from the JavaScript side? If you read SRC as a property on that element, what will you get? The empty string, about blank, or the location of the current page? So 20 seconds to go. We have 3 leaders. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And time's up. The correct answer is the location of the current page. Surprisingly, the absent src attribute would actually give you an empty string. But if you do have an attribute and it's set to an empty string, then the JavaScript property is actually the location of the current page. Not sure how surprising it is for you, but for me it is. It was. And that's by the spec. Okay, next question. Autoplayed videos. Chrome and other browsers block autoplayed videos. So which of these factors does not help in unlocking autoplay? So basically, 3 of these are considered by Chrome when deciding whether to allow or not to allow the autoplay. And one of these factors is actually irrelevant for this specific case. And we're talking about Chrome. Because who knows how the Safari does this intelligent thing. But Chrome at least has it documented. So 9 seconds, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, the correct answer is the domain. So it doesn't matter whether the video itself is served from the same domain. It doesn't actually affect or help or specifically in unblocking autoplay. And it's called autoplay policy, I believe. So you can Google for that if you're interested. Okay, next question. Browser extensions. Which of these you cannot do with a browser extension? And again, I believe this is actually the case for all the browsers, but just to be safe, we say Chrome, because it's a de facto standard. So which of these you cannot do with a browser extension? Change default browser icon, bypass same origin policy, add polyfills to the browse pages, or add functionality to DevTools. And I see we have 6 people who have answered correctly, at least one question, which is great. Okay, time's up. And the correct answer is changing the default browser icon. You can't do that. Everything else you can actually achieve with the browser extension. Next question. This is kind of a tricky one. We have 5 forms, HTML forms, and this is actually multiple choice answer, so you can choose more than one. There is more than one correct answer. Which forms will actually submit on enter? So we have one form with a single text input, another form with text and checkbox, another form with text and number input, one more form with 2 texts and a submit button, submit elements, sorry, and another form with 2 text elements and a button that is connected externally. So some of these will submit when you hit enter in the input field, but some of them won't. Okay, time's up. All right, so the correct answers were everything except the 3rd option. So according to the spec, enter will submit a form to make it submittable by enter, you need to have either exactly one text-like input field or have a submit button inside. So we see that the third form, it has two text-ish input elements. So number behaves a lot like text. So and we don't have a submit button. So which means that it will not be actually submitted if you hit enter. Okay, next question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. HTTP. Which of these mechanisms will not work with HTTP 3? CSS image sprites, sticky cookies, and TLM authentication, or TLS server name indication? Okay. I see we have a couple of leaders, but especially the first place is someone by the nickname of Trick. And I will need to match it with the person in the Zoom meeting. So mind that. All right. So the correct answer is NTLM authentication. So the thing is that if you're familiar with NTLM authentication, it works on a TCP level. So it actually doesn't authenticate an HTTP request or stream, but it authenticates the TCP connection. And since HTTP 3 and actually HTTP 2 also, they multiplex multiple HTTP streams in one connection, this thing is just not applicable. You can't use it. And the browsers, whenever they see NTLM authentication, they just fall back to HTTP 1 to make it work. Next question, HTML again. So we have a few markups and only one of them is correct according to the syntactically correct according to the HTML spec. I think many of them will actually work and do what you expect them to do, but there is only one that's actually correct. Right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, we have a nice distribution there. The correct answer is the last one. So you actually can include BR tag inside the B tag, but all the others are semantically incorrect. And I would personally actually answer style inside the body because I know it works, but apparently it's not correct. And yeah, so for this, to check these things, there is a nice service. It's called Can I Include? There is a link there, caninclude.glitch.me. It's just works like can I use, but you just put 2 tags there and it tells you whether it's allowed or not. Okay, and we have a new leader. Nice. Final question. In which cases, oh no, not final, sorry, second to last. In which cases a cross-origin fetch request will have origin null? choose all correct answers. So this one also has multiple correct answers. In which cases a cross-origin fetch request will set an origin header to null. A cross-origin redirect, document refer policies, no refer, when the request comes from a sandbox iframe, and or requesting page is served over HTTP. Oh, full list is not available. All right. Okay, time's up. And the correct answers were the first and the third. So indeed, after a cross-origin redirect, if you have a cross-origin fetch that results in a redirect, and then this second request will actually contain a origin null if it points to the third domain. And also, if the request comes from a sandbox iframe, you'll also have origin null. It's by the spec. And the refer policy is actually true for font course requests. But since this question is for specifically for fetch requests, that's not correct. Okay, and now the final question in 1 second. JavaScript, pure JavaScript. Which of these snippets will not navigate the page? There is only one correct answer. All of them, except one, will navigate the page. But one of them won't. Some close competition. This is exciting. We have the top 3 are so close to each other that it can be anyone's game right now. All right. And the correct answer was the third. So the location $.href is an optional chaining operator, and that's only for getting values. You can't use it for setting. Yeah, and I think we have a winner, don't we? Yes. So Max Zuzin, or Zuzin, sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly. Congratulations, you have just won this and a €50 Steam card.